Nathaniel here. I'm in Lincoln, Nebraska, and behind me is the Nebraska State Capitol. I'm here to give you a little bit of history in the building, and I think it's some fascinating stuff, so let's get into it. This is the third building to stand on this site, performing the duty as state capitol. When Lancaster, being renamed Lincoln, became capital of the state of Nebraska in 1867, the very first building was built behind me. It was built between 1867 and 1868. The building was hastily built, and the construction put it in disrepair very shortly afterwards. So in 1881 through 1888, they built a second state capitol building on this spot. Again, they built it pretty hastily, and the construction wasn't the best, leading to it becoming dilapidated. And by 1915, it was pretty well known that they're going to need a new state capitol. So in 1919, the state legislature passed a bill permitting the construction and building of a third and final state capitol. In 1920, a New York architect by the name of Bertram Grosvenor Goodhue was selected, and on April 15th, 1922, they broke ground on the exterior walls of the building you see behind me. Now, the reason why they built the exterior walls first, and it is a square on the outside, and the internal building is more of a cross in the middle, is that the second building was still going to be in use, and they didn't want to disrupt government business during the construction of the new capitol. So, building the exterior walls and then demolishing the older building until the offices got built around here allowed the government to run smoothly. Now, part of this construction layout created 4 internal courtyards within inside the external walls of the state capitol. Now, this is the very first building to break away from the mold of how the Washington, D.C. Capitol building looks like. When they built this building, it's the first of 3 tower-like state capitals. The building here rises up to 400 feet to the top of the dome, and above that, the statue is 19.5 feet, bringing to the total height of the building to be 419.5 feet. The building does have a goldish colored dome. I'm not for sure if the dome is plated gold or what gives it its gold hue. I wasn't able to find that information out, but if you know it, please leave it in the comments below so everyone else can find out. Now, I really do like the interesting story on the statue. It's known as the Sower, or Sower, however you want to pronounce it. Now, the cool thing about this statue is that it represents agriculture, but it has a larger symbolic meaning to sow more nobler ideas to bring out, a better, everything, really. And it's the whole purpose, in fact, of the statue of bringing together and forming societies is to sow those nobler ideas. And so I really kind of want one of those statues on my desk, because that's pretty nice. The building is built out of Indiana limestone, and was finished in 1932, so just 10 years after construction started, at a price tag of just under $10 million. Inside the building is the offices of the state governor, the state unicameral legislature, and the Supreme Court. The carvings and stuff inside the building all depict the 3,000-year-old history of the government system of democracy, which I think is very cool. Now, the building's nickname is known as the Tower on the Prairie, and I think that's a very suitable nickname because you can see this building from miles away, something that not all the state capitals really have. One of the really cool thing about Lincoln is that Lincoln is busy. There's a lot of activity going on here in Lincoln, Nebraska. I've been going to a lot of state capitals lately, and not all of them have a busy life outside of the state government. And so to see the city grow up and develop as well as it did is really cool. The University of Nebraska is also here, so go Big Red, but not because I'm a Hawkeye. Go Hawks, go Cyclones, go Panthers. Yeah. Anyway, go Bulldogs, go Drake. Anyway, back to Nebraska. So, one really interesting thing is that people who don't know think that this building somehow was modeled after the Empire State Building. In fact, the building was completed about 4 years before the Empire State Building was done, and I don't believe there's any connection with the design. But the coloring is the same, kind of the basic layout's the same. But either of the two buildings kind of copied the other one. I think the Empire State Building kind of copied this one. So brilliant design on the out-of-the-box thinking for Nebraska. The symbolism in the statue on top is very awesome. Another interesting thing about the state capitol grounds is surrounding the state capitol grounds are a lot of churches, And so if it wants to leave you any indication of what Nebraska politics are like, you can just kind of take a walk around the Capitol. Also, the grounds, the greens on the outside of the Capitol, quite large. I saw a lot of people having picnics out there, so that's very cool. I like the kind of civics connection you have with, being able to, to live kind of around your state capitol and to engage things around the building. So that's all very cool, Nebraska. Congratulations on having a really beautiful building. The inside is very, very gorgeous. It does have a rotunda. It has a big chandelier hanging down with stained glass. The inside is absolutely gorgeous. It looks like an old castle, really. You should definitely check it out. The building's open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5, Saturdays 10 to 5, and Sundays 1 to 5. It's closed Thanksgiving, day after Thanksgiving, and federal and state holidays. But other than that, it's open. It's got a lot of things inside. There's a bison's head in there. So come on down to Lincoln, Nebraska. Check it out. Check out the state capitol and check out the historical buildings around here. There's a museum. There's a zoo. That's pretty much the gist of the state capitol building here in Lincoln, Nebraska. Come on by and check it out sometime when you're around. Until next time, peace out.